So we keep this love in a photograph. We make these memories for ourselves. So almost all of us have been familiar to this extract of Ed Sheeran's photograph lyrics, to which we also can resonate. Why do we click pictures? We might click pictures to capture that particular moment and save it for some time later to cherish and look back, or keep it as a visual record of a diary during a period of some time, or someone who does it to capture the human life into the still image that narrates a different story. So I'd like to ask somebody from the audience to answer my question. So why do you click pictures, either from your phone or any cameras or any photographic devices that you have? Anybody would like to give input on this question? So why do we click pictures?
I
Anybody
think
would like to?
one of the most popular reasons is to, I think, show off on Facebook.
So yeah, Toastmasters Sunil replied me with showing it to Facebook. So today we all click pictures, and we have that assumption that anyone with an expensive camera like this is a photographer. To me, photography is a universal language that transcends literacy and cultures. Even an illiterate person or someone who comes from a different cultural and linguistic background can appreciate photos. Photography is an expression captured at times for eternity, forging invaluable evidence for prosperity. A photo can evoke an emotional response in us that is the mark of good photography. Today, it has become accessible to the masses at an unprecedented level. Anyone with a smartphone camera can produce pictures, and on top of that, the booming social media provides a platform of sharing and appreciating them. Pictures of both monumental and mundane. It is safe to say that it has, in a way, become more dramatic and democratic. People have found a new meaning and a new role in this century. But I draw a thin line between photography and photographing. The definition of photography and what it truly means may always leave us in confusion. Whereas I would simply define photographing as an act to process the photograph from any photographic device. The concern of DSLR photography and mobile photography rising over the period of time with technological advancements and human progress, excelling in science resorts us to a maze full of illusion that both things can go hand in hand. Smartphone camera technology will eventually become so good that people won't need or want a mirrorless camera. It's a bold claim, so let's consider some facts. Smartphone camera technology has come on leaps and bounds in recent years. There's no arguing that smartphones are a very user-friendly photo solution, and now an inevitable part of our life. But there are some areas in which they can't compare with a DSLR camera or a professional setup. The first is their image size sensor, which I would simply like to put up as the brain of the camera, which processes the image. Let us take an example of an iPhone 11 Pro Max with its 12 megapixel sensor. As good as it sounds, it will never be able to match or replace the high resolution full frame cameras from Sony, Nikon, Canon, or Fujifilm in terms of quality. DSLR offers a lot of control over focus, which lends itself to some cool techniques. It is easy to manipulate depth of field and different functions that gives the competitive advantage over the smartphone. So, Kathy Ryan, the director of photography at the New York Times Magazine, shares, photographs are the universal language of our era. Images don't age or warp. Photographers are the one who sort all the chaos of the world into images that bring clarity to the free for all of life. They are the attention to the things that we miss in our everyday lives, and they call our attention to events and people at a great distance from our own patch of universe. When they direct our eyes and teaches us to look again, look harder, look through their eyes with perseverance, patience, and wholeheartedness. Photographers put life onto photos. Photography speaks as of its photographic visual language, the language that could inform and educate and move audiences worldwide without the need for a shared spoken language. A photograph is particularly powerful because it is accessible to the most of humanity. There is no language barrier in photography. I feel an image is about time, about staying the moment. Photography can defeat time, generations, and it keeps the memory of a loved one alive and hold a moment in history for future. They can also change behavior, stimulate understanding, and create a sense of urgency that will move people to action. Thus, photography is different process from photographing. Photography undergoes different procedures, and the manual human factor that photographers put in, and the time and the money and everything that they put on for the professional setup. I strongly condemn the idea of being a photographer with the best smartphone camera one can have, and photography is easy as just to click a button or a shutter. And also the opportunity cost of missing living the present moment to let the latter half relive the moment by that sacrifice. Photographers are dedicated, passionate, and sometimes half crazy individuals who are willing to give their lives, too often quite literally, to show us what needs to be shown. On the ending note, there are always two people in every picture, the photographer and the viewer. So do you ever find a wildlife enthusiast or a professional wedding photographer capture images with his smartphone, or do you expect any photographer to click your pictures from a smartphone in any uh, most important segment of your life? No, because we all strive for the quality, and you would not afford to miss that pictures. So you would have to resort for the quality DSLR cameras and the photographers. So with that, I would quote with that I would end my speech with the quote: shoot what you love, this way you will never get tired of having a camera on your hands and seeing what you love in front of you, and you is one of the greatest pleasure you will have for the rest of your life. So photography is the story I failed to put in words. Thank you. And I would like to request everybody or anyone to ask me questions or any technical things or any photographic related questions to put in front of me. And I would like to accept 3 questions.
Can I ask the first question, Toastmaster Youbesh?
Yes.
There is a popular saying, well-known saying, which says, pictures don't lie.
Yeah.
In today's world, with all the digitization and all the new technologies, do you think that saying still holds?
Yeah, I would put my idea as this. We can be always illusioned by anything that comes across, and we are always illusioned by the things that are across the world. And with this digitization and modernization of technological advancements, and we can even manipulate pictures, but even though that manipulated pictures can have that feeling that it can deceive you, or it might have make confusion in your brain, but the essence would not be missed. You would hook or crook by know that it is manipulated and it cannot be true and it lies. So the essence would not be there of the originality, but and would deceive you for real. So it is the viewer that would have that ability to know if it's that original or not, or it's manipulated. And I would say with that, pictures can be manipulated and the thing would be on the hand of viewer.
Thank you.
So I'd like to accept 2 more questions.
Can I ask one?
Yes, Toastmaster Neil.
Okay. at the beginning of your speech, you said that you asked a question: what is the purpose of a picture? For most of us, I think the purpose of a picture is to capture a moment so that you can actually enjoy and live in that time, even in the past. It serves as a memory of the good times or the bad times we have in our lives. So if it is just that, then whether the picture is captured with a mobile phone or with a SLR that you carry, what difference does that make?
So I draw a thin line, as I said, between what photographing and photography is. So photography would be a different whole universe of thoughts and expression, any ideas that would be circulated by different minds. So as you said, what would make that difference? So if you wish to, as I said earlier, so if you wish to hire a photographer who's clicking a picture from phone in your any special occasion that you want to relive, so it matters when you want that quality. So if you have a special occasion, then you would prefer someone who's professional and have that level of quality in your photos, in your special session. So if it's just for a memory or in like sharing in social medias, then the smartphone cameras would do the justice. But if you want to have that optimum and ultimate quality that you wish to relive again and again with the feeling, then you would always opt for the quality and the professional cameras and the photographers. So I hope this answer your questions.
So basically, it's like if you need a photograph for a commercial purpose, then you need the professional cameras like SLR camera.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sunil. So I'd like to accept one last question before I end this question and answer session. Any question?
Okay, Youbesh, I have a question for you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sunil. Yes.
As Toastmaster Sunil said, with the advancement in technology, there are so many added features on the latest cameras. However, I have come across different photographers who like taking it from the manual mode. And why is that? I've always been confused about that, because there's so many features that can give you the perfect shot that you're looking for, yet you look for that manual mode in terms of taking a classy picture that is going to be hosted by different magazines or stuff like that.
So yeah, I would answer this question is because of the creative freedom or the creative aspect of what we, or as a photographer or anyone who would like to do it in a manual, because there is ultimate freedom of what can be done through the manual shutters and manual apertures. We may want to choose the depth of field, where we can choose the blurriness of the background and also what we focus as a subject. So that gives the ultimate freedom of what we want to mostly focus on, and also about the background as well. And also we may always alter the ISO and every other factors that come in the DSLR cameras and other mirrorless cameras that would help us picturize what we want and what we want others to see. So that gives us the liberty actually to let us capture the moment, and what we want to show, we can show that. I hope this answers your question, Toastmaster Jeevan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Youbesh. It surely does.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Jeevan. Thank you, Toastmaster Sunil. And thank you, Toastmaster Sunil, for the wonderful questions. And I would wrap up this question and answer session on last quote: photograph what you wish to show to others and what you want to relive again. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Sunil.